The only reason I would do that is just because I don't like having to do it by hand. It's time consuming and I just don't want to do it. Good afternoon, I'm Mark. Welcome back to the farm. I did a feed run today. So I've got all these bags of feed. I got to transfer all of these into cans. Otherwise the rats eat really, really well. And I don't want to feed them. I want to feed my animals. So that's what I'm doing here. Walter, you need to come down, Walter. Come on, man. So it's been a little chilly last few days after that storm came through and brought us so much fun. Temperatures really dropped. We had probably about 35 degrees in the morning. That was as cold as we've seen it so far this winter. We've got a couple of days forecast in the next probably 4 days. I think we're supposed to have 2 days in the low to mid 30s to start off. And then after that, I think like the rest of the country, boom, temperature's gonna pop up. So suddenly we're gonna find ourselves with multiple days in a row up in the 80s. So that ought to just confuse every piece of vegetation going on out here. So I've been doing some cleaning up, as you'd expect, out with a tractor and just moving the limbs. And on our trail going to the back of the property, I found I didn't even notice it before, but there's a big tree blocking the whole thing, so I'm gonna go clean that up as well. This morning I'm out here with the broilers, and I've got one here who's not doing so well. Hasn't been doing well for a couple of days. Chickens are a very sensitive group in that if one of their buddies is sick, they like to sort of step on them and lay on top of them and stuff and use them as a heat source. So you don't get a real good opportunity to recover if you're not doing good as a chicken. Yeah. And then I got this one here who just seems to have reached the point that his body has about overgrown his legs' capacity to walk him around. This Saturday, this weekend, is our forecast harvest at 8 weeks. I don't know. I was kind of thinking that this batch of birds, we've had more issues. And I don't know if it's the time of year or what, we've had more issues this time with birds sort of losing their interest in, eating and stuff like that. So we've had to harvest a couple of them already. It's a pill though. I don't like to do that just because it just takes so long. But I think what I'm going to try and do is, I used these for broilers for a while. Or sorry, broilers. For my layers when they were young. And I put in some perches up here. And what I'm wondering is, can I create a little built-in chicken hospital, like an isolation ward, up on these platforms here on the side, so that birds that are underperforming can still gain weight and push them towards the end. And the only reason I would do that is just because I don't like having to do it by hand. It's time consuming and I just don't want to do it. So if I can get them to get all the way to harvest with everybody else, that's ideal for me. So I got to think about what I'm going to do. So here's how I'm going to do it. I have these perches that I put in here. I've got some smaller pieces. I just screwed one of those to the frame here in the back to create another little bit of a wider shelf. And then what I've got is milk crate. So I cut the front out of it, right? And it's actually, I was using this as an old nesting box for the other chicken coop. And so this is just something that's available. I put that in there like that. And somewhere I've got another piece of board. I'm going to lay it on the inside there, right in here, screw through it into the other piece underneath and just kind of make a compression fitting there. And then I got some straw or hay, and I'm going to put that inside here, and that'll just be where those less mobile, and I'm just trying to keep gaining weight and get to harvest day. That's where I'll put them at night, at least. All right, there it is, just screwed in, and it just creates a compression thing. No reason why that would stay in place. Kind of missed that a little bit. I'm not worried about it. That's why I put that other piece on there to give me a bigger target. And now just take some hay and put that up there. Oop. Put the hay up on there. And that ought to give somebody a place to sleep at night. At least a place to sleep at night where they're not getting stepped on by everybody else. And there's what it looks like. It adds almost no weight. So that should make it no great increase in effort to move the tractor every day. Meanwhile, you know, this one's still eating and drinking, which is exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna leave it right out here in the open just to keep going, because the minute I put it back in there, it turns into a victim of the other chickens. Not real big fans of buddy care. They don't care. Now Bobcat may come back and snack? It is gonna snack this thing. Snag this thing and take it off and eat it. And honestly, given a choice between having an undersized bird that's eating feed that, you know, I'm just trying to get to harvest day, versus taking one of my pullets that I've had going for 4 months now, and they haven't even started laying eggs, and I've already lost 3 out of 15. I'd rather have it come over here and snag one of these guys. So it's not raining, the sun's not beating down. It's very pleasant. I think it's fine for that guy to stay out and just snack and drink as much as he can during the day. What I've been doing out here is just gathering fallen items and adding them in my piles. 1, 2, and then starting a third over here. My tractor's been giving me a little grief. Not the tractor, but my grapple. And I'm not always able to get the chompers to close. It works for a while and then it doesn't work. And so what I end up having to do is stop, loosen the fitting, sort of let it burp, if you will, or whatever, and then it seems to come back. So I'm not too crazy about that. I'm hoping, I mean, I don't know what it is. I hope it's not a problem with the tractor's hydraulic system. I'm hoping it's more an issue with the chompers, if it is anything. So for now, I kind of move a little bit and fits and starts with that. But getting the area cleaned up, that one's really big over there. I'm gonna need a chainsaw. And of course out there, there's still stuff to be done. But I've also got to hit this whole thing with the rotary cutter, just to take advantage of the work the cows did to knock everything down and to eat all the green. Man, how quickly things fire up around here. I heard a chicken commotion, and then Deb's on the porch yelling, and there's a bobcat making a play for the pullets just now. And he'd come around the house and was up against the side of the silver car here, like measuring his, attack posture. And Deb just happened to see him out the window. She came out and yelled, and he booked it out that way. But right up against the house. I got to finish this gate so I can get dogs. That's the only thing that's going to stop these attacks. Well, I wasn't feeling too good at the beginning of the week, so I didn't make any video. Certainly didn't post anything. Thought I was doing okay. Got out, started doing stuff, and got crushed. So I didn't make a lot of progress. I got some cleanup done. I built the bird infirmary and the chicken tractor, and that seems to have about done me in. Hopefully I get feeling back up to speed and start doing a little more than just the bare essentials. I think that's going to do it from here. We'll talk to you guys later.